Daniel Harmon here, how are you? Today we're going to take this piece of wood and we're going to put these leaves on it. Let's get started. Hey, how you doing? So here what we're going to do is we're just going to trace the outline. I've put a stencil paper on there. We're just going to use that stencil. As you can see, the pattern is there. Just tracing around that with that 699 burr, the straight edge burr, putting a nice little edge around that. What that's going to do is, of course, put that into the wood, and then what I'll have is the image on the wood and be ready to go after that. So I've taken the stencil off. Here I'm using a round carbide and digging out into the leaf shape, and I'm shaping that leaf with a round carbide too. Because it's got a big carbide teeth, I can dig out that shape pretty quickly and easily. So I'm going to rough it out with that round carbide. Using that round carbide here to continue to shape the rough out shapes. I'm also using that round carbide to dig out in between the empty spots of the leaf, the spots that are just between the leaves and the stems. We're just going to make that a big empty spot. Thing about carving is I'm able to just pause my brain, let it just relax and just calm, and just let my brain go into the carving and just disappear into what I'm doing when I'm carving. Here I've got the football diamond, which again is just sandpaper-ish, sandpaper on a stick. But the diamonds let me shape and smooth the leaves or whatever I'm doing. At this point, we're using leaves, but the diamond shapes help me do that. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to round over these berries, just kind of round off the edges, make them look like berries, make them nice and round, and make them the wonderful berry shape. But this is a rougher diamond, and it's going to have little grooves in it, but I'm going to shape it with this diamond burr and then come back with a different one here and a little bit with finer grit, just like sandpaper. Here all I'm doing is using a finer grit of diamond, same shape, the football, just smoothing that out, taking out those old scuff marks of the last one. But it's just like any wood project, you gotta sand, sand, and sand. But just reshaping the berries there, using the again that's the smoother grit to make those smooth and shiny. Um, Sometimes I leave the rougher grit depending on the leaf or the flower. But in this case, I'm just continuing on with that smooth, because these leaves that I'm doing, I want them to be smooth and kind of like an oak leaf. They're basically oak leaves, and so oak leaves are really smooth when they dry out, even when they're not dry. But when they dry out, they're really smooth and they have this beautiful brown color to them. But that's what I'm doing here, is continue to just shape that. When you're carving, as you can see here, that what I'm working on there is kind of looked like it was underneath the other one. So as you're carving and shaping your leaves, you want to take a look at the leaf itself, or have some leaves around. I have a few oak leaves that are dried, and I just keep them around so I can look at them and see how they curl and see how they bend and see what nature's done to them. I just use those to shape the leaf when I'm working on leaves. So I really like the leaves. They're one of my favorite things to do. And you just keep going and tucking a leaf under another leaf. These particular leaves only have the one there that I was working on a second ago, where it looks like it goes underneath another actual portion of the leaf. So these are pretty simple, straightforward leaves that I'm working on here. So I've got these all smoothed out and shaped. So what I'm going to do here is finish them with a color. What I use for a color is just a burnt umber brown oil paint that I get some mineral spirits and just thin it out so it just runs kind of like an ink. And I just spread that all over, use that to make the color that I want and make the stain and the leaves look like I want them to.